السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. Welcome to Quranic Arabic Academy, Arabic Grammar Made Easy, lesson number 9. We are learning الفعل الماضي. There are 14 sigas of فعل الماضي, 3 sigas for غائب, the third person, for مذكر, and 3 for مؤنث. The غائب siga total of 6. Then مخاطب sigas, 3 for مذكر and 3 for مؤنث. 3 means واحد, مثنى, and جمع. Singular, dual, and plural. Then the first person متكلم has only 2 sigas. The واحد one is used for مذكر and مؤنث, and the other second siga used for مثنى and جمع, مذكر and مؤنث. We've learned the fa'il comes as a damir with فعل الماضي, and they are attached with فعل الماضي. If we start from غائب, the واحد siga will have هو, and this هو damir is always hidden, which is mustatir. For dual, alif is the fa'il. For jama mudhakkar ghaib is the waw, the fa'il. For wahid muannas, here is the fa'il, mustatir. For muthanna, alif is the fa'il, but before alif you need the ta to make it muannas. And jama muannas, the noon niswa. Mukhatab, from here all the way to mutakallim, we add the damirs, those comes with al-madi. So ta for wahid mudhakkar, tuma for muthanna mudhakkar, and tum for jama mudhakkar. Ti wahid muannas, tuma dual muannas, which is muthanna muannas, and tunna jama muannas. For mutakallim wahid, tu, and muthanna and jama na. We did practice with loads of fail. Alhamdulillah, I hope everyone understood on how to make all the 14 sigas of any fail are given. Then we've learned every fail must have a fa'il, the doer. So every siga can have only one ism as a fa'il. Either that ism can be wahid, the ism can be muthanna, or ism can be jama. A fail cannot have a fail cannot have 2 isms as the fa'il, only one ism. Then we've learned the object, which is maf'ul, and we've learned their halat. So fa'il always in halatul rafa, dhamma will be read on the last letter, and the object maf'ul is always in halatul nasb, fatha will be read on the last letter. Then in the last lesson we've learned how to make the fi'l madhi emphatic to give us more stronger meaning. This is the rule, okay? And we use the particle qad. To make more emphatic, we use lam ta'kid with qad, which is لقد. Now, sometime, not all the time. All the time is قد is for emphatic. Okay? But sometime قد makes فعل ماضي ماضي قريب. Not always. That is not the rule. Sometime. So how are we going to know? From the context, we will know. This is just to say the qad is there just to let us know the fi'l has just been done. Otherwise, qad comes for ta'kid, okay, to make fi'l madi emphatic. Today's lesson is very simple lesson, straightforward, inshallah, and we'll be practicing some of the fi'l to make fi'l madi. So let's start today's lesson to make fi'l madi negative. Making al-fi'l al-madi negative means to show us no action has been done. In English, we'll translate did not or didn't. Very simple. The particle ma is used front of al-fi'l al-madi to make al-fi'l al-madi negative. The particle ma. Okay, that's all we need to remember. Whenever you see the particle ma front of fi'l al-madi, that siga or fi'l madi will give us a negative of that action, not has been done or did not do the action. Okay, let's go through the groups we've made. We made Nasara group. I hope you've memorized all these fi'ls that comes in this group. Nasara, Balagha, Taraka, Hashara, mentioned for you. Then we've learned the Fataha group. Look at the middle letter. Middle letter has Fatha in both of the groups. Na, Sa, Ra. The Sad is the middle letter, has a Fatha. Fataha, the middle letter, has a Fatha. And all these fi'ls belongs to this group or comes from this group. Ba'atha, Ja'ala, Jama'a, Dhahaba, Rafa'a, Sahara, Salaha, La'ana, Nafa'a. To profit. We can add another verb here. Another verb, which is that will come in another group to give us the meaning of profit, or we'll add in that group that comes. Next, we've learned daraba. Again, look at the middle letter, still having fatha. Daraba group, all these spell comes. Hamala, sabara, dhalama, so on. Next group we have sami'a. Look at the middle letter now, it having kasra now, changing kasra. Is there any rule? Is there any rule to put fatha on the middle letter, kasra in the middle letter? No, there is no rule. It's already been made. We just have to memorize. Sami'a, alima, to know. Hasiba, to think. Hafidha, to guard, to protect. So that fellow I was talking about that comes in this group because the middle letter will have a kasra. Ra, bi, ha, rabiha. To profit. ربح. This فعل comes only once in the Quran. ربح, to profit. So let's add one. Today's new group. In this group, there's only a few verbs, not much. Look at the middle letter, dhamma, karuma. So this is karuma group. Karuma, to become generous. Next, qaruba, to become near. No, sorry, I did not delete these numbers. From this group, very rare we'll find in the group in the Quran. For example, karuma, there's none, doesn't come in the Quran. Qaruba, no qaruba in the Quran. To become near. Ba'uda, to become far. Something become far. Nothing in the Quran. Da'ufa, to become weak. But as I remember, only comes once in the Quran. Da'ufa. Even with repetition, comes only once. Thaqula, to become heavy. Only this siga comes about 4 times in the Quran. This siga. And also the muannas siga, thaqulat. So mudhakkar and muannas together comes only 4 times. So from what we can see from this bab, or the description, okay, description verb comes from this bab, like kareem, the generous one. Qareeb, near. Those of us who've learned a bit of Arabic, we should know this word, qareeb. Ba'eed, far. So these are description verbs come from this verb. Da'if, weak. Da'ifun. Thaqilun, heavy. Thaqilun. So from Karuma group, mostly the description file comes. Okay, so today's lesson, how to make jumla fa'liya, especially fa'l madi, to make al-fa'l al-madi negative by using the particle ma. So let's take one fa'l from this bab. Let's take thaqula. Let's put in this chart and make fa'l al-madi. I need to change the keyboard. ثقل, واحد مذكر غائب. ثقلا. I didn't change this. Why always this is red? Nothing special. ثقوا. ثقلوا. ثقلت for واحد مؤنث غائب. The here is the fa'il if there is no ism mentioned after it. If the ism is mentioned, that ism will become the fa'il, and here the damir will disappear. Yeah. تقول, the ta is for the muannas and alif is the fa'il. تقولتا. So from here, the last letter becomes sakin. تقولنا. So from here is easy. We just have to get the ta, tuma, tum, for muannas, ti, tuma, tunna, for mutakallim, tu, and na. تقولتما. تقولتم. For مخاطب مؤنث, تقولتي. Just copy that and paste it here. Because muthanna is the same siga for mudhakkar and muannas. And for jama muannas, taqultunna. I know many of you saying the siga before me writing it. That's good, mashallah. And those of us still, we don't know these 14 sigas, please need to memorize. Taqultu, I became heavy. Taqulna, we became heavy. Offshoot of Dhamma. Okay, can anyone tell me from these 14 sigas what siga we know that comes in the Quran? Taqula, taqula, taqulu, taqulat, taqulata, taqulna, taqulti, taqultuma, taqultum, taqulti, taqultuma, taqultunna, taqultu, taqulna. In the top. Yes, واحد مؤنث غائب. ثقلت ثقلت موازينه. موازين. The noon is the last letter. It's having a dhamma. That means that is the fa'il. Mawazinu. Scale. So is scale in Arabic muannas? Because muannas fail is used. Thaqulat. Remember we've learned if the fa'il is muannas, fail has to be muannas. If the fa'il is mudhakkar, the fail has to be mudhakkar. Because Arabic follows the gender. So mawazin, we know it is fa'il, it's having dhamma, mawazinu. The who is the damir of jar case. We will learn when a damir is attached to an ism, what does it become? We'll learn that later. So over here, what do we understand from this? The siga muannas is yud thaqulat for mawazin. So scale. So is scale a muannas? Well, let's look at scale. Again, we need to know if the ism giving us one meaning, or is giving us dual meaning, or is giving us plural meaning. So we need to know those words as well. So mawazin is plural. Mawazin, plural. What is singular? Singular, mizan. We should know this word. Mizan is singular. Mawazin is plural. So is mizan. Okay. To see if the ism is mudhakkar or muannas, we look at the wahid. We look at the singular. Then we decide is a mudhakkar or muannas. Not plural. We don't look at plural. Okay? We look at the singular. Like kitab. We look at the singular book. We know book is mudhakkar. What is mizan? Remember we've learned there's two types of ism, mudhakkar and muannas. The default of every ism is mudhakkar. The default is mudhakkar. So if we apply this rule on mizan, we'll say it's mudhakkar. Unless we find some signs of muannas. Okay. We haven't learned any signs yet, but those of us who've been doing Arabic, we should know a little. One of the sign is the round ta marbuta. Ta marbuta. Another sign is natural. They're naturally female. That is the biggest sign. Naturally female. Okay, so those are naturally female. We don't need any signs for that. So mizan is not naturally female because it's a thing. Remember, naturally female will be only humans, animals. Yeah. But the things to become oneness is how Arab people uses. Is how Arab people uses. Do they use as mudhakkar? Do they use as muannas? Okay. So mizan, there's no muannas signs. So it is mudhakkar. It is mudhakkar. So why is thaqulat used here, muannas? We'll learn one of the rule later on. There are two types of jama. One is jama salim. Another one is jama mukassar or jama taksir. Again, if you did Arabic before, you know this. Jama mukassar. Jama mukassar means from the pattern of wahid, when it comes to plural, the pattern breaks. So mizan is singular wahid. When it comes to jama, see the pattern breaks. Mawazin, mizan, wahid. So in wahid we don't see any waw there, but when it comes to jama we see the waw there. So this pattern is broken. The other Jama is Jama Salim. Means the pattern when it comes to Jama doesn't break. It doesn't break. Wahid and Jama, the pattern is the same. So if the pattern is the same, how would we know it's Jama? We add one letter, which is Waw. We add Waw and Noon at the end. So the Wahid Siga, the Wahid pattern, remains the same. To make it Jama, we add Waw and Noon. To give an example, Muslimun, Muslimun. Make this Jama, it will be Jama Salim. By just adding Waw and Noon, becomes Muslimuna. Kafirun, Kafirun. To make this Jama, this will be intact. Wahid will be intact. There will be no broken, no adding letters, taking out letters, just adding letters at the end to make a Jama. That's what we have in English. To make a Jama, add. Majority of the isms in English just add S. The Wahid remains the same, just add S. Book, books, adding S. So many of the English nouns, when it comes to Jama, they are Jama Salim. But in Arabic, it's the opposite. Most of the isms that becomes a Jama are Jama Mukassar, the broken one. So later on we'll talk more on this. Just remember one rule, that Jama Mukassar, like Mawazin, Kitab, Jama is Kutub. See, the pattern breaks. Kutub, Kitab, Kutub. Are you remembering one thing? On the last letter, sorry, I need to take this phone, it's important. Yes. So remember one rule, that all broken plural Jama Mukassar is considered Muannas. Okay, and that Muannas will be Wahid. Wahid Muannas. All Jama Mukassar is considered Wahid Muannas. So that's why we're having Thaqulat Mawazinuhu. Not only this siga, not only this fail, any fail that comes and makes the Jama Mukassar a fa'il will be using Wahid Muannas Siga, which is the standard Fa'alat. Okay? Fa'alat. This siga is used for Jama Mukassar if that comes as a fa'il. Okay, let's move on. So Alhamdulillah, we know this chart of Fi'l al-Madi. It has 14 forms. The more you memorize, the more you revise, the more you will remember these patterns. Right, today's lesson is to make Fi'l al-Madi negative, which is called al-Fi'l al-Madi Manfi. Manfi. All this time we've been doing the Muthbit. Fi'l al-Madi Muthbit. If you don't remember these terms, doesn't matter, means positive. And did the action. So from today, or this lesson is to make Fi'l Madi negative to give no meaning. The action did not take place, did not do. Just adding the particle ma front of Fi'l Madi. Ma. Okay. Examples from the Quran. Let's go through these quickly. فَمَا رَبِحَتْ تِجَارَتُهُمْ. Hum is the damir. The file is tijaratu. We just learned this file rabiha, to profit. Ma makes this action negative. Did not. Okay. Tijaratun, business, trade, commerce. So hum is attached to the ism. Hum means them or their. So their trade did not profit or did not make a profit. So their trade, their business, their commerce did not make profit. Next verse is very famous verse. Ma qataluhu. By looking at it, we should know the fa'il, which is the waw, who is attached to it, maf'ul. Ma is coming to give negative meaning of qatala. Qatalu, they killed. Who? Him. They killed him. Is a positive. Ma makes negative. They did not kill him. Ma qataluhu. This ayah is talking about Prophet Isa alayhi salam. They did not kill him. Wa ma salabuhu. Salaba, again, we did not add this in the groups. Salaba, this will be from Daraba group. Comes only once in the Quran, that's why. Salaba means to crucified. Salabu, they crucified. Who? Him. But ma make this action negative. Wama salabuhu. And they did not crucified him. Bal rafa'a. Rafa'a, to raise. Bal means but. Again, we see the fa'il, lafz Allah is the fa'il, and the damir that is attached with the fi'il, maf'ul, him. But Allah raised him. Ilayhi, harf jar, towards him. So they did not kill him, and they did not crucify him, but Allah raised him towards him. وَمَا ضَعُفُوا. Yes, I did say this verb comes once or twice. So ضعف, the واحد siga, and ضعفوا, this is the another siga, جمع غائب مذكر. وما ضعفوا, ضعف to become weak, جمع, and they did not become weak. Allah is talking about one of the battle about the Muslims, that they stayed firm, they did not become weak. وما ضعفوا وما استكانوا, and they were not shaken. Comes after it. Next, ما سألتكم من أجر. سأل, to ask. سألت, the fa'il, I asked. You, I asked you, jama. So ma means, ma makes this fi'l al-madi negative. I did not ask you. ما سألتكم, I did not ask you. Min ajrin, ajr, we know, reward. Min, those of us we know, we should know this. It is one of the harful jar, means from, means from. Obvious, we cannot translate this from in this ayah. Another tip. Do you remember this? That's fine. If not, we'll be talking regarding these things again and again. Ajrun. Okay, who can tell me in terms of definiteness what type of ism is this? Is it indefinite or is it definite? To take the mean away, I'm pronouncing default. Ajrun. In terms of definiteness, what type of ism is this? Is it a definite ism or is it indefinite ism? Yes, is indefinite. Why? We've learned any ism that's having tanween is indefinite. How do we make ism definite? By adding al front of the ism. So here there's no al, it has tanween, so indefinite. So I did not ask you a reward. A reward. When min comes with indefinite isms, again, when min comes with indefinite isms, which is called nakira, indefinite, nakira, min makes that nakira ism more nakira, more indefinite. What I mean by that? Mean not at all, nothing, any, little, small or big. It makes little. Min, when it comes with indefinite isms, it makes the little you can think of. So here we can translate any. I did not ask you any reward. Many of the prophets said, or said in the Quran, I'm calling you towards Allah. And for that, I did not ask you for any wages, any reward. If you remember this, min makes nakira isms, indefinite isms, more nakira. Many times we find in the Quran, amilat min khayrin. Amila, to work, to do. Min khayrin, any type of good. Okay? We can translate any. On the Day of Judgment, Allah is saying, وَمَا عَمِلَتْ مِنْ خَيْرٍ. That any good anyone does, you will find it muhdaran. You'll find it in front of him. You'll see it. Little or big. So here the Prophet is saying, I'm not asking you any reward for it. I'm doing for the sake of Allah. Allah will give me the reward. Okay, another verse, when the angels came to Prophet Lut alayhi salam, and this is what they said. Ma wajadana. Wajada, to find. Wajadana, we found. Ma, make this negative. We did not find. Ma wajadana. We did not find fiha, fi in, ha it, means the village. In it, غير بيت من المسلمين, except one Muslim house, which was Lut alayhi salam, and the rest of the people were kafir. We did not find in it except one Muslim house. Going to translate word by word, one house among the Muslims. Okay, وَمَا ظَلَمُونَا. ظَلَمَ, to do wrong. ظَلَمُوا, they did wrong. Na, to us, maf'ul. They did wrong to us, positive. Ma comes to make the negative. وَمَا ظَلَمُونَا. And they did not do any wrong to us. Allah is saying that if the human beings, they are engaged in bad things, in sins, they will not do anything wrong to me. وَلَكِنْ أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. They are doing wrong to themselves. وَمَا ظَلَمُونَ. They are not doing anything wrong to us, Allah is saying. So they did not do. Again, look, according to the context. According to the context, although sometimes fi'l madhi is used, but according to the context, we translate present. They're not doing anything wrong to us. وَلَكِنْ أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. They're doing wrong to themselves. Okay, now this one is a tricky one. مَا أَغْنَى عَنْهُ مَالُهُ وَمَا كَسَبَ. مَا أَغْنَى عَنْهُ مَالُهُ وَمَا كَسَبَ. Another fail, which is 4-letter fail. أغنى, which is Hamza, Ghain, Noon, and Ya. 4-letter. We haven't done any 4-letter verb yet. Just for an example, I brought this ayah. Aghna means to become rich, or to aid, to help. Okay. So here, let's find the fa'il and ism in Halatu Rafa. Yes, we see Malu, Halatu Rafa. The Mal is the fa'il. Who is attached? I mean, his wealth. His wealth did not help him. Remember, when Allah is talking about the day of judgment, He uses fi'l al-Maadi, but because in the future, we'll translate in the future. His wealth will not come. His wealth will not help him. Ma aghna. His wealth will not come for his support. Many translations can do. So his wealth will not benefit him. Benefit him. Okay, wama kasab. Wama kasab. Listen, the way I'm reading this ayah, the way I'm pronouncing, see if you can see the difference of pronouncing these two ma's. Yeah? ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب. ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب. You see the difference of pronouncing the ma, or am I pronouncing the same? Okay, there's many ma in Arabic language, and every ma is used for different things. One of the ma we've learned is to make fi'l madi a negative. So this ma also coming before fi'l al-madi. Kasaba to earn. We've learned this in the group of daraba. So kasaba is a fi'l. Ma is coming front of it. So this ma should make kasaba negative. Al-fi'l al-madi manfi. But remember again, according to the context, we will find out, is this ma the ma manfi that makes fi'l madi negative, or is that another ma? Those of us who know the meaning of this, we know it is not the negative ma, is the one of the other ma. Yeah. The other ma comes in a place of alladhi. Those of you know alladhi, ma kul ma mawsula. So this is ma mawsula to give us the meaning of alladhi. Wama kasaba, no ism after it, so cannot be fa'il. The huwa is fa'il, he, and anything, whatever he earned, and anything that he earned, whatever he earned. So look for different types of ma. Another tip, if ma comes beginning of a sentence of fi'l, jumla fi'liya, if ma comes beginning of the sentence, that ma most probably will be ma negative. And if the ma comes in the middle of a sentence, most probably will be ma alladhi. So this ma is coming middle of a sentence, it is ma alladhi. Yeah. So his wealth will not benefit him, and whatever he earned. So if we translate all together, his wealth and everything that he earned will not help him, will not come for his support. So I hope you understood there's two types of ma. It's not two types, many types of ma. When we talk about the ma's, we will talk about more on this inshallah. So what we've learned today is to make fi'l madi negative by using the particle ma. one of the tip, if ma comes at the beginning of fi'l al-madi, most probably that will be ma negative. If ma comes in the middle of a sentence, most probably it is ma mawsula to give us alladhi, meaning anything, whatever. This is the end of today's lesson, inshallah. We ask Allah to give us tawfiq and accept everything that we are doing. We are doing for the sake of Allah. Allah see our intention. We're giving our time for this, for the Quran. Inshallah, we'll be rewarded for every second we spend and for every letter that we learn as an examples. We are reading it. Inshallah, we'll be rewarded. Again, may Allah give us tawfiq. May Allah protect us. May Allah keep us safe until tomorrow and also until our death. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.